In this video, we'll discuss about class and object of part 2. Okay. Here we'll discuss about inheritance and composition. So we'll discuss about composition, inheritance, and aggregation. Moreover, we'll discuss about types of inheritance: single, multi-level, hierarchical, multiple, hybrid, and cyclic inheritance. We'll discuss about MRO, method resolution order, as well as super method. Okay, so we'll see one by one. So first one is what? Question is, how can you use member of one class into another class, inside another class? So for that we need a composition or inheritance. So how can you use a member of one class inside another class? In that case, we may implement composition as well as inheritance. So composition, it is called has a relationship, and inheritance, it is called is a relationship. Okay. So first of all, we discuss about the composition or has a relationship. Composition or has a relationship. So by using class name or object, we can access member of one class inside another class. A class composition can contain an object of another class component. Okay. So has a relationship is what? Suppose one class is there, say class 1, and another class is there, class 2. We can create an object here. And with the help of this object, we can use the component of another class. Okay, so it enables creating complex type of combining objects of other types. Advantage is what? Code reusability. Okay, advantage is what? Code reusability. So we can see one example. Suppose one class is there. Name of the class is my class 1. My class 1. Okay, say there is one variable is there. Say variable 1. The content is what? 3. Another variable is there. Here it is variable 2, the content is 5. One method is there, so you can say it is method 1. Okay, so this is what our class 1. In class 2, the name of the class is my class 2. Here one variable is there, that is called var3. This is nothing but is equal to my class. It's nothing but the object of my class 1. This is nothing but the object. var3 is nothing but object of my class 1. That means what? Using var3, we can access var1, var2 as well as method 1. Okay. So one method is there. The method is the m2. Okay. Inside method 2, we are printing one message. I am in class 2. We are printing the content of var1 and var2 as well as we call method 1. Okay. So inside method 2, we first of all, so C is equal to my class 2. So that means what? C is nothing but an object of class my class 2. That means what? Using C, we can access M2 and var3. Okay. So C dot method 2. That means what? C can access method 2. So it execute first line, I am in class 2. Okay. Next, it will display the var3 dot var1. var3 dot var1 means what? Content of this. So that's why it is 3. And here we mention self. Why it is self? Because var3 is what? It is initial instance variable of class 2. Okay. And the content of var2 is what? It is a 5. And then it will print var3 dot method 1. Method 1 here content is what? I am in class 1. Okay. So my class 2 has component of my class 1. So that's what is called has a relationship. Are you getting my point? Okay. Next we can see another example. So here we can see this one. So what is the name of this particular? Here name of the component here class 1 is there. Okay, class 1 is there. Here one content is there, variable 1. Variable is there, here content is 3. Another variable is there, there is one variable 2, the value is 5. One method is there, this is what our method 1. Okay, achha. Another class is there, here it is called class 2. Here variable name is what? Variable 3. Variable 3, the value is what? It is 7. Next, another instance variable is there, that is called variable 4, which is nothing but 9. So one method is there, method 2, and another method is there, that is method 3. Inside method 3, there is one variable x1. x1 is equal to class 1. So what is x1? So one variable is there, that is the x1. x1 is nothing but the object of class 1. So using x1, we can access content of class 1 variable as well as methods. Okay. So here we can print x1 dot var1. That means we are printing this one x1 dot var2. We want to print the values of var2. Next, using x1, definitely we can call m1. Okay. Achha, here we print. Achha, var3 is nothing but the class variable. That's why using class name we can access this one. And definitely var4 is what? var4 is the instance variable. That's why you can write self dot var4 of the class 2. Achha, definitely method 3 can access method 2 using the self. Method 2 can access method 3 can access method 2 using the self dot something. Okay. So y1 is equal to class 2. So y1 is nothing but y1 is what? Nothing but object of class 2. Achha, y1 can access method 2, method 3. y1 can access method 3. So y1 dot method 3. That means what? We want to execute this one. Okay. Now you can see this part of only. You just see this particular part only. Here it will create one object, that is x1. Through x1 we can access var1 and var2 because x1 is nothing but object of class 1. So var1 content of var1 was it is 3. Okay. So now you can see the output. It is first. Okay. So we need to clean this particular part so that you can get it. Okay. So it will execute x1 dot var1. var1 value is what? 3. That's why it is 3. x1 dot var2. It is 5. Okay. Then it will execute the x1 method 1. In method 1, the message is what? My method 1 of class 1. Here it is my method of class 1. Output is what? This one. Okay. Then it will execute var3, which is a class variable. That's why it is 7, and var4, which is the 9. Okay, that's output is 9. Then self dot my method 2. So my method 2 is what? Content is what? My method 2 of class 1, as well as is printing one message, my method 3 of class 2. So this is nothing but this one. Okay, so in this way, inside the method of any class, we can define object of another class, and definitely using that object we can access of class 1. Definitely how to execute, how to use this one? Definitely object of this class. So object of class 2 can access x1, and using x1, class 2 can access variable 1, variable 2, as well as method 1. So class 2 has component of class 1. Are you getting my point? Okay. Now inheritance. We'll discuss about inheritance. It is also called easy relationship. It is a easy relationship. Inheritance is a technique that allows us to inherit all the attributes and methods from another class. So one class is there, another class is there, C1, C2. So say few attributes and components are C2 can inherit all the properties. C2 can access all the properties, methods and attributes of C1 using the inheritance technique. The class from which the attributes and methods are utilized is called parent class or base class. So it should be called base class or parent class. The class which uses all the attributes and methods from another class is called child class. So it is called child class or derived class. Okay, so class 1, this is what our class 1. We can say it is a parent class or base class. Here methods and variables are there, and here we define class 2, and here we pass as a parameter. Class 1 is passed as a parameter. This is nothing but our child class or derived class. Now class 2 can contain its methods and variables are also there. So methods of parent class 1 automatically available to the child class 2. So methods and attributes of parent class, okay, are automatically available to child to class 2. Okay, so method of parent class 1 automatically available to the child class. So C2 can access all the components of C1. Now, what is the advantage of inheritance? Inheritance definitely code reusability, and we can extend the existing functionality with some more extra functionality. So definitely, suppose one method is there, and suppose C2 needs to use this particular method. So if you do not use inheritance, here in C2 also you have to define M1 separately. Suppose here total number lines say 100 lines. So definitely we need to write 100 lines in one method. Instead of doing this one, we can define class parent child relationship, and then class 2 can access code of M1. So definitely here we no need to define the M1. We just call this particular M1 and we can access it. So in this way we can use the code reusability is there. Now classes that inherits from another class are called derived class or subclass or subtypes. So these are called, so this is nothing but our derived class or subtypes, and classes from which other classes are derived are called base class or superclass. So it is also called superclass and it is called subclass. So base class, parent class, subclass, superclass, synonyms: child class, derived class, subclass, synonyms. Okay, are you there? Achha, why it is called easy relationship? Why it is called easy relationship? Suppose one class is there, the name of the class is vehicle. Okay, so some attribute and methods are there. Another class is there, class say car. Here we pass as a inheritance purpose. Class car vehicle. So car is nothing but a class is what? It's a derived class, and V is it is what, a base class. So car is a vehicle. Car is a vehicle. So that's why we what we say inheritance we call it is a class, is a relationship is there. So car is a vehicle. So that's why it is called is a car inherits properties from the class vehicle. So car inherits properties from the class vehicle. Are you getting my point? Okay. Now we'll see one simple example. Okay. So one variable, one class is there. Name of the class is what? Class 1. Okay. One variable is there. Variable 1 is equal to 7. One method 1 is there. Okay. Another class is there. Class 2. And here we pass as a parameter. So class 1 is what? It is a parent. And class 2 is what? It is a child. Here one variable is there. Variable 2, it is a 9. And method 2 is there. Okay. Now here we define one object of class 2, objc2 of class 2. So definitely object of class 2 can access variable 1, variable 2, method 1, method 2. Okay. So object C2 or objc2 can access method 1 as well as method 2. Moreover, objc2 can access variable 1 as well as variable 2. So method 1, it is written there, parent class 1 in my method 1. Then for this particular, it will print this particular message, child class 2 in my method 2. Okay. Achha, what is the content of variable 1? It is 7. And what is the content of variable 2? It is 9. That's why it is 9. Okay. So class 2 is a class 1. Class 2 is a class 1. Class 2 can access all the properties, all the attribute and methods of class 1. Okay, how we can access? Using object. So this particular object, this object is of class 2. So this object can access attributes and methods of both the classes, class 1 and class 2. Okay. One method is there that is called super method. So it's a built-in method. It's a built-in method which is useful to call the superclass constructor, variables and methods from the child class. Okay. So the super method can call the superclass. Superclass means what? Parent class or the base class. Okay, so it is a built-in method which is useful to call inside the child class, inside the subclass, superclass constructor, variables and methods from the child class. Okay, so we can see example. So we can just see this example now. Class person, class person. This is what one class is there. Okay, here two parameters are there: roll number and name. Roll number and name. Okay, so these are what instance variable. One method is there that is called student data. Okay, acha. Now student details, another class is there, and here we pass person as a parent class. Okay, now here inside the constructor you just see the variables role, name, age and address. Okay, now we set the role and name of the parent class. So that's why here we write super, okay, bracket dot init roll number and name. Okay, so here we call constructor of the superclass. Here we call constructor of the superclass. So that means using this roll number and name, we want to set this roll number and this name. Okay, and here definitely age and address will help to set the age and address of this variable. Okay, now two methods are there here, just display and details. Just display and details. Here we print one message, and in details we print self.role, self.name, age and address. Okay, are you getting my point? So here the attributes are what? Roll number, name, age and address. Two methods are there, just display and details. One object is there, that is a E. So here we passing student details, we are passing four values: 1 Ashok 19 Mumbai. So 1 Ashok 19 Mumbai. So here we set age is 19 and address is Mumbai. And what about the roll number and name? Roll should be A, roll should be 1 and name should be Ashok. And if you print, we can get what? So E dot student data. So you can see definitely E is the object of class student details. So E can access attribute of person as well as the methods. So E dot student data. E dot student data will print education is the passport of the future. It will print this particular. Next E dot just display. It can access this method. Teachers can open. You can see this one. Teachers can open the door, but you must enter it yourself. And definitely we can print the roll number, name, age and address. So roll is what? 1, name Ashok, age 19 and address Mumbai. So using super we can call the constructor of the base class, and we can set roll number and name. Are you getting my point? And definitely the base class can access roll number and name also. Sorry, so this is what? The child class can access roll number and name of the parent class. Okay, so different types of inheritance are there. Single inheritance, just we have seen. Multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance. So we'll discuss one by one. So first one was single inheritance, just we have seen. What do you mean by single inheritance? Inheriting the properties from one class to another. So one class is there, name of the class is class 1. Okay, so here one method is there, another class is there, it is called class 2, and here we are passing class 1. Okay, as parameter. So class 2 is what? It's a child class, and class 1 is the parent class. So we create, so here method 2 is there. Here method 2 is there. One, we just create one object obj1 of what? Class 2. Okay, and definitely obj1 can access both m1 and m2. So obj1 dot method 1, it will print what? This one, I am in a parent method, and obj1 dot method 2, it will print what? I am in child method. So that means what? Object 1 or class 2 can access component of class 1 using the object name. Are you getting my point? Now we'll see multi-level inheritance. So in multiple level inheritance, inheriting the properties from multiple classes to single class one after another. Okay, so you can see the output. So here you can see the output. Class 1 is there. Okay, so this is what our class 1. Here method 1 is there. Okay, now here we create another class. Name of the class is class 2. Here we create another class. Name of the class is class 2. Okay, and here we pass as a parameter. Okay, so we can say we can inherit all the property in C2. We can inherit all the properties of C1. Are you getting my point? And definitely we can create another class. The name is what? Class 3. And here we pass class 2 as a parameter. Definitely class 3 can also access all the component of class 2. Now here we create one object obj1 of class 3. So here we create one object. Name of the object is obj1. So definitely here methods are there. Here method 1 is there. Here method 2 is there, and here method 3 is there. So definitely obj1 can access all methods m1, m2, and m3. So obj1 method 1 output is what? This one method 1. I'm in a grandparent method. obj1 method 2. You can see the method 2. It's I'm in a parent method. obj1 method 3. It will print what? I'm in child method. Similarly, obj2, suppose we can create another object obj2 of class 2. Definitely we can create obj2 of class 2. obj2 obviously we can access m1 and m2. It can access both method 1 and method 2. So it can print I am in a grandparent method, I am in a parent method for method 1 and method 2. And note down one thing, object 2 cannot access the properties of class 3. That means a child can access all the properties of C1. A child can access a child can access all the properties of parent, but parent cannot access properties of child. Okay, so it is called multi-level inheritance. So because of this, so here we are creating only two subclasses: parent class, subclass, subclass. So question is, can you tell me how many levels you can create in Python? Okay, in the comment section, you just tell me, example number 6, you just tell me how many number of times you can create class. Next, you can see the example of hierarchical inheritance. Okay, so what is that? So you can see one class is there. So the class name is what? It is class 1. Okay, it's a class 1. Here method 1 is there. Another class is there, class 2. Okay, here method 2 is there, and definitely here we are passing class 1. So that means class 2 can access all the component of class 1. Here another class is there, class 3. Okay, and here we can pass all the component of class 1. So here method is what? Method 3. Okay, so obj1 is equal to class 2, obj2 is equal to class 3. That means for class 2 we can create one object, so it is called obj1, and for class 3 using we create one object, it is called class 2. So definitely class object obj1 can access both m2 and m1. So obj1 can access method 1 and method 2. and obj2 can access method 1 and method 3. Obj2 can access method 1 and method 3. So method 1, output of method 1 is what? I am in parent method, so that's why for this I am in a parent method is there for this, and for this I am in a parent method. Method 2, content of the method 2, I am in child 1 method. So this is what I am in child 1 method, and for method 3 I am in child 2 method for this. Remember one thing, obj1 cannot access method 3. obj1 cannot access method 3, and definitely object 2 cannot access method 2. obj2 cannot access method 2. So obj1 cannot access method 3, obj2 cannot access method 2. So if you try to execute it, you will receive an error message. Next, multiple inheritance. You can just see that. So here one concept is there that is called method resolution order. What is that? We, a programming language, resolve a method or attribute. So to resolve a method or attribute, programming language use this particular concept is called MRO. In Python, MRO defines the order in which the base classes are searched when executing a method. So using MRO, we can say the order in which the base class are searched when executing a method. So you just see the example. So you can see the example. So here class 1 is there. Class 1 is there. Here it is method 1. Another class is there. It is class 2. It is what? Method. Another method 1 is there. Same method name. Are you getting my point? Now, here class 3 is there. Class 3 is there. Okay. And here we pass both the class. Say class 2 as well as class 1. That means class 3 can access component of class 1 as well as class 2. Here method 3 is there. Okay. We create one object obj1 of class 3. So obj1 dot method 1, obj1 dot method 3 means obj1 can access method 1 as well as method 3. Now if it is method 2, then there is no problem. Okay, easily we can access it. So if it is method 2, then definitely no issue. We can call like this way, obj1 dot method 2. Okay, and we can execute it. We can get the output. So first method is method 1 is what? It is I'm in a father mode. I'm in a father method. Then method 3 is what? I'm in a child method. And third is what? Object 2. I'm in mother method. Okay, no issue, no problem. Now, what if both the method names are same? Both are same, M1, M1. Okay, both the methods are named. Both the method names are same. Both are method and method not. Definitely method 2 is not there, so we will ignore it. Are you getting my point? And we execute it. So can you see the output? So obj1 method 1. So method 1 is what? Method 1 is, it will execute I am in a mother. I am in a mother method. That means it is executing the method 1 of class 2. Method of class 2, not the class 1. So here, which particular class we assign first, that is important. If you change it, now if it is instead of 1, if it is 1 and 2, then it will print the method of class 1. That is, now I am in a father mode method. So it will print I am in a mother method. Sorry, it will print instead of mother method, it will print father method. If you can see the output, you just execute it. You can see I am in a father method. So whichever is written in first, that will execute first. So it will search from left to right. Okay, so It will first search class 1, then class 2, then class 3, and so on. Are you getting my point? Next, we'll discuss about hybrid method. So what is that hybrid method? You just see this one. Okay. So what is hybrid method? So one method class is there. The name of the class is class 1. Method 1 is there. Here another class is there. It is what? Class 2. Method 2 is there. Okay. One class is there. Name of the class is what? Class 3. Okay. And you are passing method 1 and method 2. Class 1 and class 2. So this is what our class 1. This is what our class 2. Another class is there, that is called class 4. And here we pass class 3. Are you getting my point? So here method 1, method 2, here method 3 is there, and here method 4 is there. Now we create one object, obj1 is equal to class 4. We create one object, obj1. So obj1 can access all. obj1 can access method 1, method 2, method 3, method 4. Are you getting my point? So method 1, so you just see the output one by one. So it will print method 1. Method 1 is what? I am in a father mode. Then method 2, I am in a mother mode. Method 3, I am in a child method. And method 4 is what? I am in grandchild method. Okay. So method 1, I am in father method. Method 2, I am in mother method. Method 3, I am in child method. And method 4 is what? So this is for method 1, this is for method 2, this is for method 3, this is for method 4. So this is called, that's why it is called hybrid. Because here multi-level as well as hierarchical class inheritance are there. Are you getting my point? Now you can see this one also, one more example. So you can see one more hybrid example. So you just see this one. Okay, you just see this output. Okay, one class is there, name of the class is class 0. So this is what our class 0. Okay, here method 0 is there, no issue. One class 1 is there, method 1 is there, and here we are passing class 0. Okay, class 2 is there, here we are passing this one. Here method 2 is there, here method 1 is there, method class 3 is there, here we are passing both class 1 as well as class 2, class 1 as well as class 2. Okay, so here method 3 is there. After that, one class is there, that is class 4. Okay, here method 4 is there. Are you getting my point? Now we create one object obj1. Okay, now obj1 method 0. So method 0 it will print I am in a grandparent method, no problem. Next obj1 method 1. Method 1 is what? Method 1 is I am in a father method, no problem. Method 2, I am in a mother method, no problem. Method 3 is what? This one, I am in what? Method 3 I am in child method, and method 4 it will print I am in grandchild method, So by following the method resolution order, the lookup order is for first class 4, then class 3, then class 1, then class 2, then class 0. So Python follows depth first order to resolve the method and attributes. Next, aggregation is there. What is that aggregation? Aggregation is a weak form of composition. If you delete the container object, the contents object can live without container object. Okay, the lifetime of the owned object does not depend on the lifetime of the owner. Aggregation works the best when there is a condition where the classes might not have a parent-child relationship and rather than have a peer relationship. Parent-child means what? This one. This is what parent-child. Peer means what? Both are same level. Peer means what? Both are same level. And this is what? Parent-child or boss and client, server-client, boss and subordinate. Aggregation has a unidirectional association, and both the association class objects can individually survive individually. Achha, you can see this one. You can see container object and contents object. You can see here. You can see this particular example. First example here. This is what our, you can see here. This is what our container object. This is what our container object, and this is contents object. Okay. Now, if you delete, if you remove object 2, that means you are deleting the object of the class 1 also. Are you getting my point? If you delete object C, that means you can delete the object of the class 1 also. In the second case also you can see here also that x1 is dependent on y1. If you delete y1, automatically you are deleting x1. But you can see in aggregation both are independent. You can see both are independent. You can see this particular example. So here in this particular example, class 1 is there. Here it is what our class 1. Okay. So here one where one is there, one attribute is there, one instance variable is there, one method 1 is also there. Okay. Another class 2 is there. And remember, we are not using any inheritance. Okay. We are not using any inheritance. So here variable 1 as well as variable 2 are there. Variable 1 and variable 2 are there. Achha. Here obj1, obj c1 is an object of class 1, and obj2, objc2 is the object of class 2. Are you getting my point? And these are independent. Means what? If you delete this particular object, definitely we are passing. You can see here. You can see here. Definitely we can see here. Here we are passing obj c1 as parameter. But obj-c1 is not dependent on obj-c2. If you delete obj-c1, independently obj-c1 survive. Are you getting my point? Now, if you pass obj-c1 inside this class 2, so that means what? Var1 receives that one, var1. So var1 is nothing but the object of class 1. So definitely using var1, we can access component of class 1. Are you getting my point? So var1 dot my method 1. So var1 dot my method 1, definitely we are executing this one. Acha, can you write var1 dot var1? Okay, try just do it. Execute it, no issue. So you can see the output. Just first of all, you just see the output, then you will change. You just do some changes, and you can see the output. So var1 is what? Object of class 1. So through var1 we can execute my method 1. So it will, I am in class 1 and var1. So it will print the self var1. So I am in class 1 var1. The value is what? It is 3, which we are passing. So obj-c1 is nothing but a class object of class 1. You are passing 3. So you are passing 3 means what? The value of var1 is what? It is 3. So if you print this one, we can get definitely print 3. Are you getting my point? Now, next, what you are doing? Obj-c2 method 2. Now you want to execute this one. So definitely this particular obj2 execute method 1 as well as self var2. What is the content of var2 which we have passed? Okay, so what is the var2? Here the answer is 4. So how, why it is 4? Because while creating obj2 we are passing 4 here. So var2 is var2 obj2 receives the value 4. That means var2 receives 4. So that's why if you print var2 we can get the output here 4. Are you getting my point? Okay. Now I want to explain it once again. Okay. In another way. So obj1 is the object of class 1. We are passing 3 here. obj1 we are passing value 3 here. So here var1 receives this 3. That means we are setting this value var1 is equal to 3. And definitely we can print it. We can, a method is there, name is my method 1. Here we are printing I am in class 1 and the var1 is 3. Class 2 is there. Okay, so obj_c2 is equal to class 2. obj_c2 is what? obj_c2 is what? obj_c2 is the object of class 2. Okay, and here we are passing two parameters obj_c1, that is nothing but the object of this one, object of class 1, as well as the value 4. So var1 is nothing but the object of what? Class 1, and var2 will be what? 4. So this var1 is nothing but our object, and this var2 is the 4. Definitely var1 is object, it can access method 2 is there. Inside method 2, var1 can access method 1 because var1 is nothing but the object of class 1. Okay, now when we call my method 2, it will first execute this one, my method 1. That's what it will print I am in class 1 and the variable 1 is 3. Next it will execute var2 is var2 is the output, the var2 is what is 4. That's why it is 4. Okay, and we can keep, acha, can you write like this way? Can you write like this way? Self dot var1 dot var1. Can you write like this way? Since this self var1 is nothing but what? This one, and definitely it is what? Object is what? Object of class 1, and here var1 is also there, and this var1 is this one. So instead of var, you have to write var1. Can you write this way? Can you get any output? Okay, that we can get output which is 3. So no issue. So this var1 is the object, and this var1 is the attribute, instance variable of the object var1 or class 1. Are you getting? Okay. Next, cyclic inheritance. Also, definitely Python does not support cyclic inheritance. So what is cyclic inheritance? Suppose class 0 is there. Okay. Here class 0 is there. Here one method is there, method 1. Class 1 is there. Here we inherit properties of class 0. Here method 2 is there. Class 2 is there. Here we inherit properties of class 1. Okay, and here method 3 is there. Are you getting my point? And in method 3 and in method 0 we inherit what? Inherit class 2. In method 3 we inherit class 2. So that's why it is called what? Cyclic. And if you try to execute it, you will receive an error. The error is what? Name error. Class here in this particular line you can see the output. In this particular line you can see the output, that we can see name error. That name error, class 2 is not defined. In which? Line number 2. So you will receive in line number 2, class 2 is not defined. Because while we are executing this particular line, class 2 is not known at that time. But while using class 1, class 0 is already defined. That's why there is no problem. So that's why it is called cyclic inheritance. Okay, next you can see this particular program. Okay, you just see the program and just see the output and try to understand